All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the live hangout. We're going to get started here in a few moments. And if you all can hear me out there, let me know. All right, let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay. All right, we're going to give it a few moments. We're going to get going with the live hangout. Welcome, welcome. Thank all of you for your time and, just hanging out, just learning, growing, and just hanging out. All right, won't be a long live. I think I'm going to start lives at around 8:30 maybe. There's a lot of different time zones, but thank all of you for hanging out, for popping in. It means a lot to myself and the community. All right, and feel free to bring any questions that you have. Any concerns that you have, any questions that you may have, any challenges or barriers that you're facing. Definitely do that. All right. All right. All right, let's jump into it, guys. All right, so I'm assuming everybody can hear me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy hump day or happy Wednesday to all of you. This is our live hangout. We've been having subscribers that has said they've been missing some of the lives. So I thought that I actually would get on tonight and just do a Q&A. This is pretty much people's time where they can ask questions or pick my brain or just kind of bounce ideas off of others that I believe can really, really be of help and really be of value to all of you. Also, we have a lot of people that will view the lives later on. So if you have to leave or something like that, I would definitely upload, the video, the live, and you can come back and watch it. All right. So if you're brand new, if this is your first live, let me know. Just comment below. This is your first live. You've never been on a live here with us before. Just let us know in the chat. Okay. So we don't have any newbies, newcomers. Okay. Good, good, good. All right. Well, so welcome all of you. And pretty much the way our lives go is, this is a free open floor. Feel free to chat and, message, any questions that you may have. Um, any concerns, any positive gains, things that's working maybe for you that you want to share with others. Definitely don't be shy, don't be afraid. I'm sure any questions that you may have, someone else probably has that same question or could learn from or benefit from the answer to that question. All right. So I'll turn the floor over to you all. And whether we have hundreds of people on or one person on, um, you know, I try to deliver value and answer and engage with you guys to the best of my ability. So just know that. All right. So any questions that we may have, anybody that has questions, let me know. Okay. All right. So nobody has questions. All right. So while you all are, I guess, thinking about questions or probably trying to figure something out, I know for the most part, a lot of you may be, those of you that are watching, may be, returning watchers. You've been on lives before. You probably have heard, um, and went through a lot of content and things like that. My best advice, I guess, is if you're still struggling with this issue of halitosis, bad breath, is to really dig deep within to see, to ask yourself honestly, have you really, been trying to do everything humanly possible to see a breakthrough? It's not easy to, go day in and day out dealing with a issue such as this. It's not easy, very challenging, very hard, especially if you have to be around other people, co-workers, friends, family members, and things like that. It can be very challenging, and you know, and just kind of put you in a defeated mindset or a defeated box. So you just have to really, really, grab hold to the mindset. The mindset piece is going to be a major, major game changer, a major factor in terms of seeing a consistency. All right. All right. So India says, "Hey Mark, hey India, how you doing? I went 11 days on a diet. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna pick my phone up. Sorry. So it didn't move as much. So India said, "Hey Mark, I went 11 days on a diet. Unfortunately, I have to eat protein. I lose weight fast. I gave up on 11 days. I didn't feel like I was seeing results. I tried protein shakes, but that intensifies fat breath. How did you stick to this for so long without losing too much weight? And how did you stay motivated?" Um, so for me, I guess I had gained, I was pretty heavy. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now? I think I was covering up the, let me know if you guys can hear me. Sorry about that. I don't want to block the sound. Is the sound okay? Can y'all hear me? Let's see. All right. I guess y'all can hear me. Let's see. Yes. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. So great question. So India's just wanting to know, how did I go 30 days with no real food or anything like that? It was tough. It was very challenging. Um, it was very challenging, very tough, very difficult to do. Um, I think for me, it was just that I had no choice because I just felt like, well, first of all, let me back up. I was a little heavy, heavy for my height. So by me being on a 30-day detox plan, it really didn't like make me look like a walking skeleton, very, very small. I mean, I lost a lot of weight, but it wasn't to the point where it was like, I look sick or anything like that. So I'll say that. Eventually, I did start adding protein back into my diet after the 30-day mark. But I did eat, a lot of, fruits, a lot of fruit starting out, and then veggies. That was kind of my game plan. During that time, I really didn't have any information as to what was what, the types of foods that I should be eating. Understanding that, you can get protein from other sources other than animal, nuts and, a lot of different things now. that you can eat, you can still get that form of protein. But yes, you will, shred down in pounds and shred down in weight. So I was just willing to do whatever because, during that time I had to still work, I still had to provide. Um, I had to be around people that I didn't really want to be around. So I was willing to do whatever it took, to, try to see if what I was doing would work. So that's kind of how I, had the mindset. Every day it was hard. It got easier. Like you said, you went 11 days. That's very, 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 very awesome of you because some people can't even go 11 days with just straight vegetables and things like that. Um, it's very challenging to do, but rest assured that your body, even though you're losing weight, your blood, your body, it is definitely benefiting from going on like a detox or like a fast. I call it a fast. All right. So I guess for me, it just was mind over matter. I felt like I had no choice. And I pushed myself, I pushed my body to the limit. Am I telling you all to do that? No, not at all. There's so many other things that you can do to help with getting a similar result. Like there's detox supplements that you can take to help, keep you cleansed. Um, so there's things now that you can try to implement that, can give you a similar result without so much, just straight eating vegetables, right? But that was the only thing I knew to do to try to test to see if I broke things down in its purest form, how my body would respond, you know? So great question. Casper the AIM Geek, what's up? Let's see. I tested for H. pylori and it was negative. Dentist ruled it out, and ENT doctor told me I don't have tonsil stones. Okay. I'm getting kind of fed up because it's been 2 years. What are your recommendations? Um, well, I guess it just depends on what your symptoms are. Because what everybody have to understand is that like all of you on here have different symptoms. So, hold on. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Okay. So, all right. And I'll get to the questions, guys. Keep bringing questions, keep dropping them. All right. So, what you all have to understand is that when you're dealing with halitosis, right? And this is something that I'm continuing to learn as I do research and study and understanding more about the body. Um, Halitosis is really, how would I put it? Breaking it down in its simplest terms, right? We know it's a smell. We know that um, it's an imbalance of gut bacteria, gut flora, right? That's causing you to smell a certain way. That's causing an offensive odor. So what it comes from, it boils down to is your diet, right? So right now, I know I'll just use the United States. I know people are from all over the world that watch the channel. I can't really speak for other countries, but more than likely you may be experiencing the same things. But our food has been contaminated, right? Our food has been contaminated. It's not a conspiracy theory type deal. It's a true thing. So the foods that we are eating and consuming now, if it's not organic foods, fruits, vegetables, and or animal protein, then 9 times out of 10 you are consuming a fruit, a vegetable, a animal protein that has basically a pesticide and a antibiotic, right? And so, farmers, mass production companies, they mass produce product, right? They mass produce, mass produce corn, they mass produce chickens, hens, um, pigs, whatever it is that you're consuming, it's mass produced. So they have to throw out, fertilizer, pesticides, and things like that to kind of help with killing bacteria, I guess you would say. So when the animals are eating this stuff, um, it is what it is. It's designed to kill off bacteria. The problem is with this, though, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you cook the food that you're eating, whether it be fruits, vegetables, wash the vegetables, whatever, steam them, stir fry them, grill your animal protein, stew it, whatever your specialty that you do, you're still consuming those antibiotics. They don't call it antibiotics. I forgot the term they use, but I'll do a video on the term that is used for what these mass production companies are spraying your food with. But it serves as an antibiotic. So when you consume it, it starts to strip away the good microbes from your gut, right? The good microbes from your digestive system, right? You don't know it. You're not going to feel any different. It's going to feel normal as you eat. Everything is going to be like normal. But as you continue to eat these foods over time, it starts to tear and eat away, or not eat away, but it tears away at your healthy gut bacteria flora. All right. Same thing for if you eat fast food. So if you're in the United States or just wherever you go and get fast food, well, this fast food is pretty much food that's processed. What is processed food? Processed foods are foods that's like in a bag. It's already like in a bag or in a can, or it's already sealed up. It's processed. So they make that food the same way. It's got a lot of chemicals, antibiotics type stuff to help preserve the life of the food. So you, the consumer, you go, you consume it, you cook it, you eat. Um, Over time, it starts to strip away at your good gut flora, your good healthy gut bacteria. And this process has been happening for years. So some of you are in your, mid 20s. Some of you are in like 17s, 18s, your age. Some of you are in your 40s. Some of you are in your 50s, right? I have people from all over, all age groups that suffer from this. And so the question becomes, well, how come? How can this be? I have siblings that never experienced this issue, or I have siblings or family members that don't have bad breath, right? So it has an effect on people, every person differently. Just like a person that live in a high inner city area can have a compromise, meaning a not so healthy gut microbes versus someone that lives in the country. Like if you live in the country, there's not a lot of pollution, there's not a lot of stuff and toxicity in the air. Like it's just you can breathe better if you live in the country, right? It's you know Studies have shown that people live longer that live in a country area versus in a city, right? So all of that, I know you're like, well, how does this have anything to do with a person's breath? All of this has something to do with stripping and unbalancing is the word I will use, your gut microbes. So when this happens, when your gut microbes are unbalanced, the bad is going to always overrule the good. I don't care what you try to do, it's going to always overrule it, right? It's going to win. So now your blood is an issue with your blood. You're dealing with vitamins, like your vitamin intake or vitamin deficiency, because the foods that you are eating, you're not consuming, right? You think you are, but you're not consuming the nutrients from the foods because your system is already compromised. Like once your system is compromised, how do you know your system's compromised? You start having all types of warning signs. So each and every one of you, Casper, the Amy Geek, Hopefully I'm saying that right. India, uh, Lupia, Nugget Master, Malika, all of you, you're going to have different signs, different warning signs from your gut. So that's really the first key of trying to solve this puzzle of, okay, what are my signs? What is it that on a daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly basis that I face with my gut? Don't just focus on the smell. We know the smell is an issue. We know other people are complaining, other people are making jokes, other people are doing having hand gestures and backing away, and like we get that. That's the aftermath of the storm, right? So if there's a bad storm, a bad hurricane, tornado, the aftermath of the storm is what's left, what's already happened, the residue from what just happened. So we got to focus on a daily, weekly basis, monthly basis. What is it? What am I feeling like when I eat XYZ? What does that feel like? Um, do you feel normal? Do you feel fine? Man, do you feel bloated? A little bit. Am I cramping? Because I used to get stomach cramps, like very subtle, like nothing to where it's like, oh, I'm bending over, um, I got to go to the hospital. Nothing like that. Just some very subtle stomach cramps. I used to get those. Um, and then I would get a lot of bloatedness. I would get gas. Um, so those were some of the signs that I experienced. I didn't know it because sometimes the longer you live with certain warning signs, you become accustomed to them. You become accustomed to feeling a certain way. But you just have to take some time to just think, man, when I eat this bread or when I eat this particular processed meat, how does it make you feel? Um, you know, does it get worse? Does your breath smell worse? Does it so that's kind of the process that you have to kind of take yourself through and kind of track and document. Um, so in terms of the question about um, you were tested for H. pylori, that's very good. H. pylori is normally a bacteria that is stemmed from, it can happen from your gut being imbalanced and these bacteria are taking over. You can definitely get H. pylori from that, but you see it's more common in just you'll see it more so with maybe drinking something that's contaminated or using a utensil like at a restaurant that's not fully cleansed properly, and you can pick up a bacteria strand. And so I do H. pylori breath, I believe it has a different smell. I've never had H. pylori, but I think I knew someone that had H. pylori, and it's a different vibe going on. I'll just put it like that. It's a different vibe. Not a good one, but yeah, definitely a different offensive odor. So let's get to some questions. Keep them coming, you all. Do I have to abstain from meat during my detox because my throat is full of mucus? Well, I will say this to all of you. It's going to be highly, 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 highly important for you to understand what your blood type is. I can't preach that enough. If you don't know what your blood type is, try to schedule an appointment with your doctor to just say, you just need a follow-up appointment and you just would like to know what your blood type is. I think everybody should just know what their blood type is. That's the first step. All right. Once you identify what your blood type is, I don't have my book in front of me, but I do know that there's a book called Eat Right for Your Type. Eat Right for Your Type. Um, and that book is going to give a breakdown on the genetics, the history of blood types, and basically what each blood type should focus on eating. The reason being is that certain foods triggers the, you know, certain hormones, certain lectins within the foods. It causes your system to shut down. So, for example, you may be a certain blood type, and your blood type won't allow you to eat certain types of fish. So, as you're consuming that fish, or it could be certain types of meat, you're consuming that meat, or dairy, or breads, and your body is trying to process this food and digest it, but it's the lectins within the system is just it's screaming help. Like it's saying, "Hey, this is not we're not this is not properly digesting. We're not this is not compatible with your blood, if that makes sense." So when that happens, it's almost as if, you're continuing to feed yourself something that is invading your system, your autoimmune system, right? So all of this is in connection. So some people say, well, hey, like again, you said the mucus. Why do I have so much mucus? You have a lot of mucus because your autoimmune system it's saying, hey, the blood is being compromised by some type of invader. And I know if you all never heard me say that before, you might think I'm sitting on this live joking with you, kidding with you. Like, man, this guy's saying that because I eat this food or certain foods, my body's being invaded. It's true. It's true. When you eat against the grain and you don't eat according to your blood type, your body will feel like it's being compromised and that it's trying to fight off some type of virus. So the body, what it does is it produces a overproduction of mucus. And I went through that as well. I went through a overproduction of mucus. Mucus is a great thing, right? Mucus is good, but too much mucus and an excessive amount of mucus is a bad thing. So that just basically means your body is trying to protect itself against what it thinks is something harmful. All right. So just remember that. All right. You should start a boot camp for BB sufferers. I appreciate that, India. That's something that I'll look into. Did anyone ever tell you that it was all in your head? Of course. Of course. All in your head. Yep. I used to get that a lot from family members, like close family members. Oh, it's all in your head. But when I would get around other people, they would react a certain way. So I'm like, either I'm just having a bad day or you're lying. What's going on? Yeah, so I've experienced that too. I've experienced that as well. I don't experience it now. I've broken free from it, but when I was coming up and trying to figure out and was yeah, it was all in my head. And I was going crazy. I was going insane because I was doing everything that I knew how to do. But the most important thing is definitely tending to what you put in your mouth. Okay? That's the most important thing. Do you have an opinion on salmon and potatoes? The starches are very bad, very, 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 very bad for you starting out. The name of the book is called Eat Right for Your Type. Let me see if I can pull it up and share it with you guys. That's a great book. You can find that book on Amazon. I bought the book here. What was it this year? I think it was this year for like $4. But you can get them used. Your local library may even have it. All right. So Eat Right for Your Blood Type. So they've got different ones, but this one's called Eat Right for Your Type by Dr. Adamato. And basically, he took on the study that his father pretty much left behind to help with healing patients that had not so he didn't focus on he focused on pretty much total health. He didn't focus on halitosis or bad breath, but the way you counter halitosis is you have to focus on the gut, right? That's the only way that you're going to be able to really totally beat it from the root to where you don't have to deal with it ever again. All right. So it's called Eat Right for Your Type. This is kind of what it looks like here. And it talks about the four blood types and the four diets. So let me show you here. So that's what it looks like. I don't know if y'all can see that. All right, very, very good book. I think you can do Kindle or audio book. I think Kindle is 9.99 if you like reading. So it's very, very easy read, and it goes through once you learn what your blood type is. Um, Eating accordingly, it will stop all of the mucus and it will stop all of that, those smells that you're smelling, just based off of how you eat. Okay. So I know a lot of times we look for a supplement or a pill or something that's going to help with that. But in all actuality, it's just changing the way you eat. Because if you take the supplements and the pills and all of this stuff and you're still eating against the grain of your blood type, you're still not going to see the maximum results. That's just number one. So as you start to do that, you'll start to heal your body, heal your system, right? Now, of course, there's supplements that you can take, and yeah, it tells you exactly what to eat according to your blood type. So each one of us on here, we all have different blood types. So I'll use me for an example. My blood type is a blood type A. How do you find out your blood type? You can donate blood, you can donate plasma. They can tell you, I know for plasma donors, they can tell you after maybe like the second or third, depending on where you go, after the second or third donation, sometimes it might take them a little longer to get it back. But they can tell you, I mean, if you can't get into a doctor, you can donate blood, and they could tell you whether you're O type or AB. They can tell you what your blood type is. So for example, I am an A, right? So an A, and I wish I would have had my book with me. But I'm sure all of you on here are not a A. Some of you are blood type O. My wife is a blood type O. So according to the O's are supposed to have animal protein, and they're supposed to have different types. O's are supposed to physically work out. Like when they don't physically work out, their body is like it shuts down. Is not they can't be their best self, right? They have to do physical and intense type training workouts. It even tells you about that. A's, I'm an A. We're more meditation, more yoga, like more relaxed type workouts. They say it's better for us, and we're not supposed to eat any meat. I think animal protein, like poultry, poultry is like one. It says from 0 to 3 times a week. So if something says 0 to 3 times a week, more than likely you're not even supposed to have it, right? No dairy, no red meat at all. Um, we're looking at 0 to 3 times a week for an African American man, and then also like 2.6 ounces. So a lot of times people eat animal protein, but they overeat. So the strategy of what I'm on now, what I do is I still do eat animal protein, even though I am a blood type A. My goal is to totally wean off on it. That's my goal, to totally wean off. But since I still do eat animal protein,